Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praises, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of a great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you I say shalom, and may you be of the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. All right, and this lesson is basically a reflection of the times, right? We are having, for those that's in the truth that have some understanding or have this understanding, or should I even say those that are coming into the truth that are getting some understanding, we understand what's going on. We see what's going on in the world. We understand the prophecies. Majority of the world, they only can go off what they're seeing at the moment, what they're hearing at the moment. They're not even going to be aware when all hell breaks loose and, suddenly, and there's nothing they can do about it. Whereas we're not going to marvel at that, but for the world, they're going to be, to the point where, they dying before shit even get real out of fear. But nonetheless, these people are blind, and they were made that way. They were made to be blind. They were made to not even hear, So with that being said, and we see that the gas prices are getting the way they're getting, right? Food is becoming, even more pricey. Even the bullshit food, the garbage, even that's becoming pricey. It's getting to the point being, it's getting to the point where people are having to make stronger decisions on, food consumption, food purchasing, you know, any entertainment, whereas you have to use your vehicle versus, just going to work at home. Can they work from home versus going into the office? There's going to be all kinds of things where people are going to have to start making decisions, and ultimately, as you can really tell, downsizing, and pretty much everything. Your money's got to be frugal and tight. Everything, every decision from here on, you got to think. Do I have it? Am I gonna have it? Where am I at right now? Where are things? What does the forecast look like for the future, so to say? There's a lot of things that come in play, but nonetheless, it's getting to the point where it's getting tighter. It's getting tighter, right? It's getting more real to the world, right? It's not just a hiccup as they thought. This is a hiccup where we're losing them. No, motherfucker, this place is hemorrhaging. All right, it's almost flatlined. We haven't seen it yet, but this place is to that point. Okay. So anyway, that's what this lesson is about being tight, right? The world is getting tight. We in this truth, this brotherhood, we need to be tight, right? Because literally, we got. This is all we got. It's this and us, and then there's the world, and the garbage that comes with the world. That's all there is. It's us, this truth, the body, and the world. That's it. So we just got to just be tighter. We all got to be tighter. We see that money's not stretching the way it used to stretch. So we really are going to have to be, uh, 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 you know, what is that saying in the world? It takes a village to raise a child. Yeah, we're really gonna have to do that, man. We're gonna have to do that. I mean, we as a body already do that, but it's gonna start to be where it gets tighter. We're really gonna have to be really leaning on one another, not just financially, but spiritually, everything, man. You know. But point being, it's just getting tighter. As the world and worldly shit gets tighter, we need to get tighter. That's the point. All right. So this lesson, as the rope tightens, so shall we be with one another. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:14-15. It says, "Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men." All right. So it said, "We exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly." We're gonna see unruly people, right? But you got to learn how, you know, rule your own spirit in the situation, right? Because you don't want to be wrathful. Vengeance is of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, vengeance is Yahweh Shai. So keep that in mind. And also, right? Scripture said it's better for them to hang a millstone around their neck. So just it's kind of like if you know martial arts, don't don't be so quick to get into a fight. Just look, man, look, I ain't trying to fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight. You're warning him, right? You're telling him, hey, look, man, no, I don't want to do that. I'm cool. I'm cool. You know something they don't, So you got to warn people, you know. Warn them the things that's right. Warn them of the things that's wrong. That's our job. And comfort the feeble-minded. Comfort those that's simple. You know, they're they're like children. You gotta coddle them. To be there for them. The same way you want somebody to be there for you, you be there for them. You know, support the weak. Same thing. Spiritually, mentally, physically, support them. All right. We have many examples that Yahweh Shai have given us. All right. Be patient toward all men. Absolutely be patient. There's no better example than Yahweh Shai's being patient. He knew what was going to happen to him the whole time. He picked out all his disciples, including the one who turned him in. Imagine that. And being patient the whole time. All the way up into the day of execution. All the way through his execution. All right? And we're not greater than our master. So we got to go through these things as well. And we have to learn how to be patient. You can't be hasty. Right? Being hasty and panic, you can't think. You can't function. And you're putting your body into a fight or flight mode. And it's going to more likely freak out and want to go in flight. That's why it's important to stay grounded and stay rooted in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Trust. Don't lean on your own understanding. Verse 15 says, "See that none render evil for evil unto any man." Yeah. Once again, the vengeance goes to Yahweh Shai. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So we ain't supposed to be doing none of that stuff. How are you leading by example if you going into that mode, going into that pattern, that way? Right? You living by the sword, man. That's your way of death. All right? We ain't supposed that's not what we own. Now you can protect yourself. You can definitely protect yourself, but as far as that's your life, no. That's not what we own. Otherwise, why you leaning so hard on Yahweh Shai? Why you calling upon Yahweh? You got your weapon. Protect yourself. That's the end all be all of the weapon, right? See? No, it's not. We need the Lord. We need Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right? You don't render evil for evil. If something happens to you, you don't go back and put vengeance upon yourself. No. You know, let it be handled by Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. But ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. Exactly. And that's plain. If you do good, you get good. Plain and simple. You go to that which is right, which is good, which is pleasing unto Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, you got these wacky tacky Christians. Whoa, I went to the soup kitchen. I donated. Good for you. You also say your prayers in front of everybody to be seen of all men. You also eat pork at the end of your sermons for breakfast or lunch. You also say the laws are done away with, and oh well, that's Old Testament. We're not Old Testament. We're only New Testament. Now I understand that New Testament just is reiterated of what Old Testament was saying. Anywho, yeah, let me keep going. This is Romans 15, 1 and 2. It says, We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. And again, keeping in mind the subject matter. As the world is getting tighter and tighter about situations, we're going to be leaning more and more on each other. And it can't be, oh, well, I got this. Brother, we all got this and this and this. Some are able to do a little bit more than others. Not asking you to give an arm and a leg, but definitely asking you to pitch in as a brother. All right? And some of us that really haven't been able to do that, we all of us are going to have to get to that point where we're all given more than we usually could have, or than we did have. You know what I mean? So, and the world, and here's the thing. Here's the point with that. The world don't think like that. The world thinks me, myself, and I. This is all what I have in my bank account. This is all what I got for myself and my family. You see? And then they gonna start going upside one another's head. They don't think body. They don't think family. They don't think, my brethren. They don't think Yahweh Shai. They don't think Yahweh. They don't think righteousness. They think all wickedness. What can I do to get over on the next person? Plotting, scheming all day, smoking cigarettes, pacing back and forth, blowing one to the brain, drinking that drink all night, waking in cold sweats. That's what this world is about to get into. Paranoia. Okay. You know, people deletions on an all-time high. Okay, mass PTSD, because there's going to be all kinds of stuff happening right in front of you. You're going to be part of it. You're going to survive it. You're going to see people get deleted from it. We're about to see all kinds of stuff, man. All right. So with that being said, we're going to have to really lean upon one another. Okay. And those of us that's in this truth, how much more so? No greater friend than one that will die for his brother. Man, these men do the work of Yahweh Shemel Shai. My elders will never tell me to do it. And I'm just speaking as a man. I know they'll never tell me to do it. But if a command never said, hey, go do that, oh, man, what? I'm man. Who gotta go? Who gotta go? Yeah, man. Look, man. These men do the work of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And I know they're not going to ever ask me to do that, because the works of our weapon are not carnal. And I'm with the program. However, That's my heart, my mindset. These men love Yahweh Shai. I love Yahweh Shai. These men love Yahweh Shai. I love them for that. Ain't nobody else serving the Lord. Ain't nobody else calling upon Yahweh Shai. Ain't nobody else doing his work. I've been searching for this truth my whole life. Anyway, Romans 15, 1 and 2. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. You got it. Help it out. Bring it out. Help however you can, as much as you can, when you can. It's the same as helping Yahweh in the flesh, is it not? Verse 2. Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. See? This is all for our learning, man. To better ourselves. Iron sharpening iron. All right? It's like I don't know if it's a good analogy or not, but like a child watching his dad get ready in the morning for work, or and he's watching him in the mirror brush his teeth and you know, you know, comb or brush his beard, or put on his tie, and his child is mocking him. Well, not mocking him to mock him, but you know, as it pretending to do the same thing, because he sees his dad as his hero, someone he looks up to. So it's the same thing with us, because we are to be the light in the world. You see, so we have to lead by these examples that were given unto us. You see, so always doing that which is right and upright and pleasing, not to please the world, but to please the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai. So living in righteousness. See, and the world ain't gonna do that. You see, Galatians 6, read 1 and 2. It says, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such as one in the spirit of meekness. Consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted." You see? And so you gotta, and that's the importance of always praying. You gotta pray without ceasing. It's all about staying in the spirit. All right? Hey, look, what happens if you say you got a fireplace and it's the dead of winter, right? So you're gonna have to have wood on deck. You're gonna have to have, this word on your mind. You're gonna have to have Yahweh Shemel Shah on your mind. You got to be wanting and willing to do this work. You got to be happy to do this work. All right. Now, what happens if you don't have that wood? Or if you do have wood, but it's fresh wood or wet wood. And that doesn't burn. You got the zeal. That's cool. You got zeal. All right. But you can't do nothing with that. So you through. All right. Or take a long ass time for that wet wood to get warm. To the point where it can burn. But you need to have what you need to have on deck already. You got to be rooted already. You see? And so if you're not, how you gonna restore the person that's cold? How you gonna feed them? How you gonna give them drink if you ain't got nothing? You see? You want to keep that oil in your lamp. That's this is the restorer, this word, this comforter, right? You can say worldly shit to people, but to me that's like a donut. Worldly shit, worldly talk is like a donut. Sound good, came in a nice package and everything. That's cool, but it's for shit. Tastes good, but there's 0 calories. It's good for nothing. It's garbage. Does more bad for me. Tastes good though, but no. You know what I mean? So if you have understanding, restore. Help that one out. Help that brother out. However you can, like I said before, however you can help, help. Whatever it means, help. Verse 2, bear ye one another's burdens. What burdens? Any burden, all burdens. And so fulfill the law of Hamashiach. You see that? Loving Yahweh Shem Shai with all your heart, mind, and soul. Loving your neighbor. Right? The second is like unto it. Loving your neighbor. In the same way. On these two hang the whole law and the prophets. If you would do it to Yahweh Shai, if Yahweh Shai was here in the flesh right now, and Yahweh Shai was in a situation and he needed your help, what would you do? Exactly. You would do everything. And it's the same way with the body. The same way with each other. That's the same mindset we should have with each other. You know? And so as things tighten up, this is how we should be with each other. I mean, again, not saying that we weren't already. It's gotta be better. It's gotta be tighter. Tighterizer, tighterizer. Yeah, it's gotta be tight, man. Because it's about to get crazy out in the world. And we know this, but the world don't. And because they don't know, the panic and the destruction that's gonna come from it is what's gonna, you know, that's what's gonna be the driving force to all the chaos. All right, and so it's gonna be good to have brethren around and men of the Lord, because the world is gonna be it's very few of us against all of them. Let's be tight. Lord willing, this is edifying. Giving all praises, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and elder bishops, the great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Stay prayed up, repent, Ababa Ball, Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom, and it's 444. Call Halayim La Yahweh Shemel Shai.